All right, number 4, number final, applications of systems of equations. So here's where a lot of it comes from. Word problems. They love these on the ACT too. So if you're good with this, should be good for the ACT on that part. So you got to just start by reading your problem and defining what you got. Sometimes ax plus by equals c works. Sometimes y equals mx plus b works. Whatever way your problem is worded is the way you want to write it out. Let's look at some examples. Marcy bought a total of 20 used books and CDs during a yard sale for a total of $54.50. If books cost $1.50 each and CDs cost $5 each, how many of each did she buy? So we got two different kinds of things going on here. We got number of items and we've got monies. Okay, we got books and we got CDs. So if we let B be books, so I'm going to write out what my variables are. B, capital B, is number of books. Books. And C is going to equal number of CDs. Notice I specified that's the number of them and not their price or anything. Sometimes you might be looking for their price, so you might want to specify that. Now, let's see. If I add my numbers of books, it's a total of 20, right? So that means if I add books and CDs, that should equal 20. That's what that problem says. A total of 20 used books and CDs. Books plus CDs equals 20. Cool. Total is $54.50. So that's my total monies. Well, the cost for the CDs, or the books first, I guess, is $1.50 each. So if I do $1.50 times the number of books she bought, that will give me the amount she spent on books. Plus $5 times the number of CDs she bought will give me the amount she spent on CDs. Equals total amount she spent. Okay, we're good. We're lined up. We got B plus C equals 20. We got 1.5E plus 5C equals this. There's my setup. Okay. I'm going to show you a trick. If you got the Casio FX115ES Plus, there is a system solver mode 5. You got your number 3 is your quadratics, don't forget, but number 1 is a system of equations. You can type in your coefficients. And it'll give you x is 13. X is your first variable, so B. So B is 13. And Y is 7. Y is going to be my CDs. C is 7. Ta-da! Now, you can also do it by elimination method. If I was doing this by elimination, I'd multiply the top one by a -5, because I don't like messing with decimals. So this is my answer. I'm going to stick it over here somewhere out of the way. So I'm going to do elimination method real quick on it. Multiply this one by -5. -5b minus 5c equals -100. Copy this one down underneath it. 1.5b plus 5c equals 5450. Add them together. Use a calculator, because definitely with decimals, don't try it. Now for computations, go back to mode 1. -5 plus 1.5, 3.5, but negative. Oh. Fractions, sure, or you can just use a decimal, -3.5. This is one time, we're dealing with money, so might as well use decimals. That's gone. Now you should be able to determine that's $45.50, but if you can't, use a calculator. -100 plus 54.5 is $45.50, but negative. divide both sides by the negative 3.5. Divided by negative 3.5, and I get 13 for B. Oh, hey, look, that's the calculator gave us too. So I like this one because it's got like no coefficients. That makes things easier in my opinion. 13 plus C equals 20. Yeah, that's easy. Excuse me. There we go. So for application problems, I'm not necessarily going to specify how you have to solve them. So if you want to use your calculator, show me the setup, show me the solution. We're good. Now if it says solve by using the substitution method, then I need to see your work. If it says solve by elimination method, I need to see your work. If it says solve by graphing, I need to see your work. But once we get to application problems, I'm going to let you do it how you want to do it. Now, if you don't have the Casio FX115 ES Plus, you could still use matrices on like a TI-84 and do reduced row echelon form. Sure, you could watch a YouTube video on that. But yeah, I'm going to only use the Casio FX115 ES Plus. It's got all kinds of stuff built in. It's awesome. Kent has a collection of pennies and nickels with a value of $1.98. Believe it or not, this problem gives some students a lot of issues because they don't know how much a freaking nickel's worth. Anyway, the number of pennies he has is 5 less than twice the number of nickels. Also that, they can't read. How many of each coin does Kent have? We got pennies and nickels with a value of $1.98. So again, P is going to be the number of pennies. N is going to be the number of nickels. Not their value, but the number of them. How much is a penny worth? 1 cent, 0.01. How much is a nickel worth? 5 cents, not 50. 0.05. That's got to equal $1.98. Okay. Now the number of pennies he has is 5 less than twice the number of nickels. So pennies equals 5 less than twice the nickels. So 2n minus 5. Now if you're using your calculator, it's got to be in standard form. Not DCF of 1, but ax plus by equals c. So rearrange it. That's going to be part of the setup. 0.01p plus 0.05n equals $1.98. Subtract 2n from both sides. P plus 2n equals -5. Now that's sufficient setup for me. Type it in your calculator. Let me change that. That looks kind of like a minus sign. That's an equal sign right there. Like that. There. Perfect. Beautiful equal sign. Mode 5-1. 0.01, 0.05, 1.98, 1, 2, -5. Just type in the coefficients and the constants. And I get something that doesn't make any sense. I type something wrong. Oh, I typed in a -2, didn't I? I didn't, blah, blah, blah. I typed in a +2. Well, guess what? I subtracted 2n from both sides. I'm wrong. I messed up. My B. -2n. So change that to a -2. That's better. Okay, see, I got a fraction that was negative the first time, so I can't have a negative number of pennies or a fractional number of pennies. That didn't make any sense. But this makes sense, 53. So P is 53, and N is 29. So you might want to actually write out your work so you don't screw up like I did. We got a -2n Subtract 2 in from both sides. I messed up. I put a +2 in there. Next. Kim is renovating the first floor of her home. She bought 750 square feet of laminate flooring and 525 square feet of carpet and paid that much money. Okay, let's go ahead and identify variables. We've got flooring. Well, we got laminate because both are flooring, I guess. Let's continue reading. She went back to the store and bought an additional 100 square feet of laminate and 75 square feet of carpet and paid that much. Find the cost per square foot of each type of flooring. Well, we know how much laminate she got, right? So what are we actually looking for? We're actually looking for the price, right? So L is going to be the price of laminate. And C is going to be the price of carpet. And you could say price per square foot, yada, 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 who cares, blah, blah, blah. As long as you realize that it's the price and not the amount. That's key. We identify variables, we did, okay. See, on those two, we were talking about number of sums. This, we're talking about the price of a sum. So we gotta pay attention to what we got. All right. 750L, that's 750 times the price of laminate, plus 525C, that's the price of carpet, is 2717.25. Again, when we're talking money, decimals make sense. When we're not talking money, I better see some fractions. She went back to the store and bought an additional 100 square feet of laminate. Come on, always get extra and return the junk afterwards. Don't have to make another trip to Home Depot. And 75 square feet of carpet. And paid $374.75. There's my equation. Take your calculator. I'm already in mode 5.3, but if you forgot, I'm in mode 5.1. Mode 5.1, system of equations. 750, 525, 2717.25. 100, 75, 374.75. Boom. Equals, again, we need fractions, $1.88. So X is L, right? The first thing. First thing's L, so L is 1.88. The next thing is Y is 2.49. So C is 2.49. So again, this is monies. Put your $sign, we're in America. Now, that being said, let me see something. Okay, it's only got one little line thing. I don't know. They used to have two, then they had one, and they had two. I don't know. Put your $sign however it goes. It's got one apparently. I always put two. Might be, whatever. That's doesn't look right anyway. But anyway, that's a $sign. $1.88, $2.49. Done. End of story. Moving on. A total of $12,000 was invested in two types of bonds. One pays 8% simple interest, while the other pays 10.5%. Last year, the annual interest earned between the two investments was $1,145. How much was invested at each rate? Okay. So let's think about what's going on here. We've got two different amounts, so we need to identify them somehow. We got an 8% and a 10.5%, right? So how about X and Y? Because I don't know any way. Any other way. You could say E for 8. I don't know. I'll use X and Y. Just define your variables and it's fine. X is going to be the amount invested at 8%. be specific because it's both amounts invested. Y is going to be amount invested at 10.5%. Okay, now we know what we're talking about. Amounts. The total was 12,000. That's how much was invested. Okay, that's easy. X plus Y is 12,000. Don't put commas in your numbers ever. It's just annoying. Maybe in chemistry and science, but not in math. Now, 8%. And the two investments earned $1,145. So we gotta know what simple interest means. So side note, interest formula for simple interest. PRT. Principal times rate times time. Now, last year, that means T is 1. So it's pretty much just P times R. So that means it's just our principal, the amount invested, that's our X and our Y, times R, the rate, the 8% and the 10.5%. So if I do 0.08X, that's 8%, don't forget, plus how am I going to write this? 105 Y equals the interest earned, 1145. So this is a little tricky. You had to know some stuff about financial math. I equals PRT. That's what simple interest is. Now, it's a very common equation. You should have come across it a few times already. If you have, great. If you haven't, now you have. Mode 5, number 1, 12,000. 0.08, 0.105, 1145. And that'll get us, X is 4,600. That's the amount invested at 8%. And Y is 7,400. If this were an ACT problem, they'd probably ask you something like how much was invested at 10.5%, and the very first answer would be 4,600. Pay attention to what they're asking on the ACT, people. All right, well, that's 4 videos down, and my back hurt. So, see you next time.